NASA is going to be sending astronauts to the surface of the moon in around 5 years. And they're working on where they want to put these astronauts, where they want to place them down on the lunar surface. And NASA has come up with a strategy that's kind of new. It's actually a pretty cool idea. They want to send astronauts to the south pole of the moon. And even though it may seem weird to send NASA astronauts to the south pole of the moon, well, there's a reason for that. Water is critical for the exploration of space, and there's a lot of water on the south pole. It could be used for drinking, of course, cooling down equipment, breathing apparatus, rocket fuel for missions further into the solar system, and that's why they want to explore the south pole of the moon. Because they don't want to just go where they've gone before. They want to do something new, something that hasn't been done before. New exploration. And Stephen Clark, who's the Deputy Associate Administrator of the Science Mission Directorate at NASA headquarters in Washington, said, "We know the South Pole region contains ice and may be rich in other resources based on our observations from orbit. Otherwise, it's a completely unexplored world. And the South Pole is far from the Apollo landing sites clustered around the equator, so it will offer us a new challenge and a new environment to explore as we build our capabilities to travel further into space." And the South Pole, it's been explored before, just not by humans. It's been explored by the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. It's NASA's LRO spacecraft, which goes close to the South Pole region. It's had thousands of orbits in the last decade, and it has really precise data of this region. And because of that data, scientists have precise details of topography, temperature, and locations of likely frozen water. Noah Petro, who is an LRO project scientist based out of NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland, said, "We've mapped every square meter, even areas of permanent shadow." But before they send people, they're going to send robots. They're going to send commercial lunar payload services from commercial landers, from their vendors, that are going to explore this area, who's going to check out water, temperature, and topography in a greater detail. I mean, they could throw a rover up on the moon, right? They could fly it up there, and it could be a bad place to land. So it's better to have a rover go there first, figure out if it's going to be good or not, and then make a calculation of if that's going to be good for people. And if it's not, well, you send it over to another place until we get it right and safe for the astronauts. So the South Pole, well, it has a bunch of craters on it, right? And they reach very low temperatures because they're permanently in shadow because the low angle of which sunlight hits the moon's surface on the polar region. And the angle is based on the 1.54 degree tilt of the moon's axis, and Earth's is 23.5 degrees, and if an astronaut was standing near the South Pole, the sun would always appear on the horizon, illuminating the surface and thus skimming primarily the rims of these craters, but the inner depths, they're not going to be touched by sunlight, so they're going to be frozen, and that's where we're going to have to extract the water ice from. Now, one of the problems with these craters, though they do have water ice in them, they're really, really cold. Negative 414 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 250 minus Celsius. And it's stable, the water ice is stable there, but it's going to be really difficult to extract. These are some of the coldest temperatures in our solar system, and we've never sent human beings, astronauts, to this cold of a climate on another heavenly body. So we're not really sure how that's going to work out. That's why we send rovers up first, to make sure that it's safe for our astronauts.